Hey everybody, Rob from Karma Comic Chameleon coming at you with a story that was too good for pro-revenge and was moved to nuclear revenge. Steal my scholarship after I saved your school? I'll destroy your life. Let's jump right in. Hello, posting this on a throwaway because I don't want people finding me. And this isn't a bully story, kid never messed with me until this. I also give permission for anyone to cross-post and YouTube. After today, I'll not be logging back in. By the way, these people have gone to great lengths to find me. Blessed with a common name, I've avoided them. Attempts were made on my life, as in almost ran over. Someone tried to burn our house down, so please understand I can't post anything that can lead these people to catch any hint as to where I am. I can't risk one of you finding these people and leading them to me. A long time ago in the year of 2004, I attended a crappy high school. They cut costs on everything, and I mean everything but teacher wages. Only way to keep them. It was an alternative school. My father is in IT, so I was around computers all my life. This was known fact. I'd constantly break into school computers just to play Super Nintendo ROMs. Most of the time no one cared, and the computer lab teacher loved me because I'd constantly be repairing for her. Such a sweet lady, shout out to Mrs. Bell, love you. Anyway, so our school had about 200 computers and they all sucked. Not a single one was good. Well, there was one that I upgraded with my own parts to play games. I donated it to Mrs. B and only her and I got to touch it. So I'd do a cast introduction, but there's so many, I'll just do it as I go. Enter Evil Principal and his son, Evil Kid, me and Mrs. B. Evil Principal was a cheap man and an asshole. He'd get me to repair electronics for him and not even pay or give me extra credit. Evil Kid thought he was good at computers, he just knew how to format. That's his solution to everything. Computer running slow, format. So the school did well in a statewide test. I'm talking no student got below 90. And our state is stupid. So we got a huge grant to upgrade our computers. Now being a cheap man, our principal uses a sleazy ass computer shop and has them ordered. I offered to help, but Evil Kid was already on the job. They ordered 250 new computers and they are pretty decent. And Evil Principal pockets the rest of the fund. This comes up later. So 250 computers are delivered, Mrs. B and I get to work, Evil Principal and Evil Kid and their swarm go off for a family vacation as it's spring break. We give up ours because he threatens to fire Mrs. B if anything goes wrong. So after 50 computers, we were 2 days in. I get to the front office, take a break, and decide to boot up one of these bad boys because the secretary still worked and I could start data transferring. When I come to see, no f***ing operating system has been installed. That's right, no keys, no operating system, nothing. The cheap f*** elected to not get operating systems because it saved him $100 per machine. That stupid, cheap man. I run to Mrs. B, and the fact I was running meant she knew something was up. Not a runny type of kid. Oh god, what? Mr. Evil Principal didn't buy the OS keys. She was dumbfounded, got up and exited. Suddenly the overhead lights came on, and we boot 60 computers to find not a single damn one had an operating system installed. Now she panics and is a by-the-book gal and calls Evil Principal. I didn't get to hear much, but I caught the tail end. I don't see this as an emergency. I was with my family. Sir, this is an emergency. We need keys. No money for keys. Then no computers. You got 250 paperweights. That sounds like a you problem. Buy the keys yourself. I can't afford that. You know how much those are. Either I have running computers or a new computer teacher by Monday. Click. Oh, I was pissed because I've never seen Mrs. B cry. So I dialed my dad and asked for a solution as he was off, and he said he'd be right down. We set up, and my dad and his 3 IT crew show up. They were pissed too, but they had beer and brought the party to school. Now, this wasn't a break the law plot, just have some fun while doing a crap ton of free work as they were on vacation and were going to be here for days. We had 30 disks of an unnamed operating system and my father's corporate key. His work gave him one for home use, and he was ready to help. So 3 days later, we had 250 computers set up, wired, whole school wired, network, internet updated, all the school software installed, everything. Beers were drunk, we camped in the school, we even watched movies off a projector. It was a blast. The next Monday, everyone came back from vacation to see shiny new computers. We spent the next 2 days assigning logins to the staff and students, teaching others to use the new systems. Mrs. B was hailed as a hero by staff, and everyone knew I helped. Now, the betrayal. You see, Mrs. B's deeds didn't go unnoticed, and she was offered a fancy new job. She hated evil principal and took it. Since she would no longer be teaching and there was only one computer class for stragglers, evil principal let her go with no shade. 2 weeks before she left, she wrote a letter for a scholarship program the school offered for a tech school in their district. Think high school for mega nerds. Gave copies to me and evil principal and departed, but in her absence, things started going south. Computers needed fixing, and an important note, locker thefts started occurring bad. I'm talking so bad, the super installed cameras in the locker areas because parents were getting pissed. Now, we hold an assembly to honor the good students and all that stuff, and it's a well-known fact of my deeds. The super's there, evil principal, evil kid and his mom were there. My parents didn't have the time. It was cool, I didn't care. They get down the list, and then the story. How a teacher and student gave up their vacation, how they rescued the school from an ordering error, laugh out loud, and how they wish the teacher was here to honor her, but they can honor the student in her place. I grinned. I was being praised by the man who I hated most. It was orgasmic, and lucky I was wearing baggy pants to hide my massive, anyway. Please, a round of applause to Evil Kid, my son, for saving the school's computers. Your actions have not gone unnoticed, as you've gotten a full scholarship to the tech school. I didn't hear the rest, as my world went red. My friends held me back as to not charge the stage. I was literally going to kill those mofos with my bare hands. I do remember the booing. I left for the day. I was livid. They just took credit for my work, stole my scholarship, treated Mrs. B poorly, and thought I'd take it? Revenge wasn't enough. No, I was going to destroy them. Finally, the revenge. Weeks had passed by. I had exactly 1 month to do this with a group of 8 who knew the whole story and were literally the 8 smartest students. The Revenge Council was formed. We never met on school grounds, never at the same place twice, followed a strict set of rules, and we formed our plan. They only helped me form the plan. I did the legwork. Phase 1. This was to destroy Evil Kid. So I spoke with the super and told him the story, how I was being robbed. He said I'd need proof. That was easy, I already had it. But I needed time, so I said let me collect it. He said he'd also look into it. I needed him to distract evil principal. Now, I didn't have access to school functions, but Mrs. B did. I contacted her and explained what happened. She was pissed. She said she'd come in and fix it, but I mentioned I needed to make sure this never happened again. Oh, that laugh of hers, so adorable. I crushed hard. She was beautiful. The council had our 9th member. I just needed one thing, her login, and she happily provided, as long as there was no trail. Cameras are now under my control. Now remember the locker thefts? Well, cruising the cameras, we confirmed who we all thought the thief was. And guess who the culprit was? Evil Kid had used Evil Principal's login to access the locker combo sheet and was stealing stuff, covering his tracks by deleting camera footage. Not this time though, not this time. See, my dad had gotten a new laptop and gifted me his old one. At the time, a $2,500 custom-made laptop. That thing was my main computer for years after this, but I had to risk it. So one day I brought it to school, showed it off, played some heavy graphic games. Evil Kid buddied up to me, His eyes lit up, the bait was set. He followed me, talking video games, inviting me to his place for some game sessions as I'm walking to my locker. He turns around, as per school rule not to see my combo, and I place my laptop bag in, as my next class is PE, and his was free study. Bait in the trap. He asks, "Aren't you afraid of it getting stolen?" "Nah, my dad can always get another from work. Plus that," points to camera. "Yeah, those catch everything. Plus, I heard they caught the thief. Dad says when it's proven, he's going to announce it." "That's a relief. Get with me after school. I live close and we can walk home and game out." I leave the direction of PE, but it's not my class. I had free study. I stealth my way into the math class and tell the teacher I'm updating computers, and he loves me and allows me and starts his class. I watch the cams. 20 minutes later, evil kid shows up with a garbage bag, pulls a notebook, opens my locker, and grabs the laptop, opens the bag to confirm it, pulls it out, and places it in the garbage bag, grabs the mouse and charger too, returns laptop bag to the locker, and leaves. He's wearing gloves, thinks he's clever. I save the file, wait another 20 minutes, solve a math problem for the class, look to see the file for that area is deleted. I hide the copied files and restore them. Hiding was just a backup, didn't need it, but I wanted a copy to which I still have this day. Phase 1 complete, Phase 2. At lunch, I go to the locker and pretend to discover my empty bag. I was with a council member. She runs to grab the school cop and they come. As they are real cops, he radios for a squad car, and I shit you not, 5 cars showed up and they locked that school down. They were about to launch a locker search, but decided to check the cameras. This was done in Evil Principal's office, where Evil Kid happened to be playing games. Evil Principal comes in and gives them access. Some reason the file's corrupt. It's a recent problem that we're fixing. Evil Kid smirks. "Okay, guide me to today's cameras, and which one is that area?" "I think cam 6. "Wrong." "No, it's cam 9. "Here it is. I found it. File's fine." Evil Kid goes white. I wish I could tell you what happens next, but I was excused as they found their culprit. Then I see Evil Kid and Evil Principal walk out with 2 police escorts, and I'm called back in. I get to see the footage. Cop 3 shows me that Evil Kid was the one who stole it. I acted shocked. I'm good at acting too. Sobbing slightly, "He was my friend. How could he?" etc. 15 minutes, and he walks in and hands me it. "I'm so sorry. Please don't press charges. I just wanted to play it. I was gonna put it back." It's out of his hands, as the value of the item was more than $1,000. I'm afraid it's a felony. Charges will be filed. Turn around and hands behind your back. Evil Principal's face sunk. His boy was the school thief. He used his dad's login to get locker combos and deleted the cameras. They searched his house and found over $5,000 of stolen property in his room. He was screwed. But I wasn't done yet. As he rotted in jail, it was Evil Principal's turn. This phase was not as long, as I only had to do one thing. Word hadn't reached school yet. Evil Principal covered his son with a coat as he was let out, and I was told not to say a word to anyone. But Super was going to question me on the incident. After a long questioning, he brings up the proof. I said yes, I had it, and presented a copy of the letter Mrs. B wrote. He reads it, jaw-dropping, and quickly calls her. After a brief phone call, a meeting was set up. Evil Principal, Super, and Mrs. B, my dad, also came. We explained what happened, how I gave up my entire week to save the school's computers, how my father came in and did free work, how this could have been prevented if Evil Principal wasn't so cheap. But as with all great plans, you can't plan for everything. I expected a sacking. I got much more. See, it came to light how much the budget was and how much was really spent. So where was the rest? Turns out Evil Principal stole it. He skimmed the top of a lot of budgets, but he thought he hid them well. I don't know the details to that, but one, he used the excuse of the operating system keys. My dad pipes up when he tries. I donated my personal corporate key. Corporate key? It lets me install an OS as many times as I want. It's how we didn't have to buy 250 keys. He explained it to the super and he was shocked. He showed the super proof the key was his and pulled up on a computer to show they were the same. Evil principal had no way out. Why didn't tech school get this letter? Evil principal in sobs, I had to approve all letters sent on school's behalf. She no longer worked here when time came. Bullcrap. You had 2 weeks to send it. You just wanted to steal my scholarship for your thief of a kid. Every class in on that floor heard me shout that. Dad and I left, and super and evil principal were going to talk. If my son doesn't get the scholarship by tomorrow, remove my keys from all school computers. Needless to say, phase 3 complete. There was 2 weeks of school left. Scholarship was mine. Whole story came out anyway. Turns out he skimmed all the money he saved, and we spent the next 2 weeks without evil principal in sight. To be honest, I never learned his fate, but I know evil kids. The attack. It was the second last day of school. Evil kid was out on bail or something. He was expelled. He decided to wait for me in the parking lot. As I was walking out, I see him. He sees me. I think he wants to apologize. Nope. Stares at me and walks away. I shrug and walk about a block away. 2 football jocks across the street. Then I feel it. Hard punch to the back of my head. Evil kid just sucker punched me and had me on the ground. I flipped my back and then, well, I know it's low, but I fight dirty. As he's on top of me hitting my face, I plant a knee right into his balls, destroying them. I went hard. He falls over and seethes in pain. I'm pissed though, but one of the jocks pulls me off, and I crap you not, the other says, "This is for my dead father's necklace," and stomps his hand hard as he can. Evil kid passes out, cops show up, same one as before, and now he gets assault and possession of a deadly weapon because he had a knife. Hauled off to the ER and then jail. The fall caused me to twist my ankle and I was limping. After the dust clears, a few months go by, I found out he gets 10 years prison time, and I regret nothing. Should have just not stolen credit for my work. Some of you will say I went too far. I want you to know you are correct. Don't with me. Okay, before you guys jump in with your comments of fake story bro, I've got to jump in with one of my own. So we're talking about an elementary school leveled child having a problem with another child. We know this because he's happy to get a scholarship to a high school level. Okay, so this younger kid, he wouldn't be getting 10 years in prison. He's a minor. I could see it if the parent, the principal, was getting the 10 years for embezzlement, but that's not how the story went, so I'm calling fake. Let's hear your take on it in the comment section below. Once again, this is Rob from Karma Comic Chameleon saying thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, like, and share the video with your friends, or I'm eating all the cookies. Nom 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 nom.